starting to record. Avoid legal snags by telling people they're being recorded. Sorry, you're being recorded.
Thank you for giving me the heads up.
Welcome back, everybody, to Talkmen Tuesday. You're probably listening to this on a Tuesday. It's Sawyer. It's Angel. We're back at it again. Oh,
Hell.
Guess what? Guess what?
What?
I didn't do my research.
Gosh darn.
Oh no, but while I was reading today, guess what? This is a good one. Not necessarily a good one, but it was like I was reading on like topics of a podcast, and it was saying that you should try not to go into like a competitive field like comedy, because comedy is overly competitive. And guess what our podcast is?
Comedy.
Yeah.
Oh man. If only we weren't so funny for all of our viewers.
Oh, yeah. At least we're funny for each other.
Exactly.
We,
We should switch it up. We should try to be a very serious podcast from here on out. I bet there's not many serious podcasts out there.
According to Buzzsprout, with like a chart of like top 200 podcasts by genre, the least one is self-help.
Huh. Okay. People aren't trying to better themselves out there. Come on, everybody. You just want us to be entertaining? Dance, monkey, dance. Like, no.
Like, entertainment. That's why entertainment is such a big industry.
Yeah.
Some people want it. Some people want to be entertained.
Yeah.
Whether it be by monkeys or by two people on a podcast.
I feel like the self-help one would be so difficult, though, because you would have to go over so many different topics. And people, like, it would only, like, each topic would only touch on a couple of different people. And then probably for a lot of the rest of them, like, it's just not applicable. So they probably won't listen to it as much. Like, you have to cover so many different things. Whereas with this, we just kind of talk. And so.
Definitely. I feel like it's definitely easier to do comedy than self-help.
Yeah, so if you're coming here to better yourself, you might as well turn off the podcast now because you will not be getting that kind of content within the Talkmen Tuesday podcast.
We're definitely not a self-help podcast.
Did we say last week that we're on Apple?
Oh, yes. I don't think we said it last week. So we've finally been approved on Apple Podcasts. I'm not sure what took it so long, but I finally did it manually. Because Anchor does it for you, but also doesn't let you do it manually.
Mm-hmm.
And since I wasn't seeing the approval for Apple, I just decided to do it manually. And boom, in like 3 days, we got it.
Very selective process.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this on YouTube, you can go on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of interesting.
Oh, I was gonna say I've got a question for you. I was watching your most recent vlog on Angel Corrado too, and what is the bread with the Coca-Cola inside the loaf of bread? What is that?
For those of you wondering, on my YouTube channel, my dad decided to have a Coke and put a bread. It's called what is it? Telera. You use it for like a Mexican sandwich, but he put Coke in the middle of it and started eating it.
Yeah, he took like a loaf of bread, peeled the top off so it was kind of like a bowl, and just started pouring a Coca-Cola inside of it, and he was just eating
it. And that's my dad for you. Your guess is just mine. I had no idea. He was like, innovation.
It's like, I was so confused, but at the same time, like, I want to try that at some point just to see what it would taste like. My mind would be like, it's just like sugary, watery bread now, but I don't know. He looked like he was enjoying it. So.
Yeah, he was enjoying it. So I don't know. And I didn't even try it. I was just like, I'm just going to record this. This is some good content. Because, yeah, my day isn't that exciting.
Well, this new store's coming together pretty good. You were doing the painting? Is that what you guys were hauling in, right?
Yeah, because we had to store it outside on a trailer. So it was getting below freezing point, and apparently it's not good to have paint outside because it might ruin it. So we
Hmm.
brought it in.
Hmm.
My dad was gonna do it, but then I was like, "You want me to do it?" I feel like I would probably do it faster.
Just
But as
get
an
it done.
older,
Yeah.
yeah, because I was like, "How long are you gonna take, Dad?" He's like, "You want to do it? You can do it." And I was like, "Honestly, that would probably be a good idea because it's like
Well,
heavy paint."
I
I'm like,
gotta say, you say your days are boring. Today I was off work and I took 3 naps. That's my life right now.
"It sounds good. How long were the naps? Let's talk about your naps."
They were probably like hour and a half naps each. Like,
Oh,
I woke up, I realized I didn't want to wake up yet. So I went back to bed. Then I tried to watch like The Price is Right, those daytime TV shows, and
oh,
there's like some impeachment trial stuff going on, and so I couldn't watch any of
that's
it. So then
everywhere.
I know, and so then I was like, well, there was my morning plans, and so just watched YouTube on my phone for a bit, took another nap, ate lunch, took another nap, and Candace got back, and I was like, okay, I should probably go to the gym now. And so I went outside one time today.
Oh,
Yeah, that's my life. Man,
you live in Chicago.
I know, and that's what I do.
People who live like since we probably live like 2 hours away from Chicago. Yeah, around there.
Mhm.
People like it's a small college town, so like there's nothing to do. I'm like, well, if you're young, that's probably a good thing because Chicago there's a lot of bad things to do. And they usually like don't like their parents for moving them out of the city. And, like that's probably a good idea because
Yeah.
Chicago, some sketchy stuff. You live in Chicago. Well, there's some good and some bad.
Yep.
Pros and
Just
cons.
gotta know where to go.
Yeah, and if you're a kid, you're like, yeah, some bad things that might look good, and you're like, this is bad.
Yeah, I like every once in a while, like if it rains and stuff, you'll have some kids that are playing outside, but like you don't have big yards really around like some of the different neighborhoods, and so these kids are playing on the sidewalks and like they're running around, jumping in puddles, and like that's their fun. I'm like, you need to have like a yard or do something to to I guess have more fun because jumping in puddles doesn't seem that entertaining, but that's just me, I guess.
Yeah, you probably need to go to like a park.
Hmm.
How far from Chicago did you live? Like, grew up? Did you grow up?
Probably about like an hour or so. And so now I'm just like 30 minutes, so cut it down in half, but I don't have to take like a really long train or anything like that. So it helps out a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then, where's your sister at right now?
She moved out of the city. So she's no longer like living in Chicago. She's moving like she's like for like hour and a half out of the city now. Or I guess maybe
Hmm.
like 2 hours out of the city now. So she's gone. Yep.
She got, she got married. Like, I'm out of the city.
Peace.
Like when you're young, you want the city life, and then you get older, you're like, suburbs sound good.
That's the thing. Yeah,
Uh,
everybody moves in, and then like as you get older, you slowly start moving out.
like suburbs sounds nice to raise a family. There's a lot less trouble out in the suburbs than the city.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's all like the bar life, and then just kind of nightlife in general, I guess. And then when you don't necessarily need that too much anymore, like you're like, okay, I'll start pivoting out slowly but surely. Like there's some
Or
expensive houses here too, like $1 million places that are just because it's all about location and everything like that, and so everybody kind of wants to be in like these different neighborhoods. So there's some pricey places up here if people own them. Like so the people that have like the whole houses, like that they're paying a pretty penny for it.
and they're probably like working a lot just to pay those houses, so they probably don't even like stay in those houses for that long.
Probably, yeah.
That's cool though. I don't want to do that. I definitely want to do that. It's like, hey, everybody come by my house. I'll probably just have it as like a party house or like a get together house.
Yeah,
I like get together house.
get together house. You got to keep it clean.
Yeah. Oh, what are you gonna do? We're gonna drink a lot of pop.
Yep. A lot of soda.
Ooh. Uh, The Rock and Kevin Hart had like a press conference, and they were asked what's their go-to song, or like what song describes them. And Kevin Hart, the funny guy that he is, was like, "Push It," and they went on to sing it and whatnot. And The Rock goes, I have. He didn't have necessarily a song, but he had like this rhyme that he would tell his wife. And it would go something like, "Do you want to play with something that rhymes with a truck?" Or no, do you want to do something that rhymes with a truck? And then the other phrase was like, "Do you want to ride something that rhymes with a stick?"
What? So he would just say this? What?
Yes, he said that in the press conference or in that interview. And then Kevin Hart was like catching those like when he was dropping. He was like, "You tell that to your wife?" He's like, "Yeah, it's like something that rhymes. You want to do something that rhymes with truck?
I thought
You
you
want
were
to
going to
ride?"
keep this into like what our go-to songs were or something like that. You took a complete turn on where I thought you were going with that.
I just never seen The Rock do that, and it was kind of funny because it was still clean, but if you got what he was dropping down, yeah.
Yeah. You haven't really heard too much of Kevin Hart recently, I feel though. I think
Yeah,
did he get like hit by a car or did he get in a car
yeah.
crash?
He got in a car crash and he was rehabilitating. So, and then now he's back in the whole. He works a lot too. In the
Yeah.
whole press tour of Jumanji 2.
Yeah.
Jumanji 2.
Hmm.
Talking about movies, Bad Boys 3 is coming out
I haven't seen
January.
Bad Boys 1 or 2, so.
What? This is like a rare moment. But I'm not the one that's like, I haven't seen those movies.
I feel like I've seen a lot of movies, but there's some like big random ones that, like I haven't seen before. Like I haven't seen any of the Men in Blacks or any like anything like that, which I feel like a lot of people have seen too. Yeah, none of the
I've seen
Bad Boys. Hmm.
Men in Black. I've seen bits and pieces of Men in Black, but I never seen like the beginning of it, so I never got the whole gist of it.
Yeah, and now it's kind of at the thing where I'm like, like I've gone this far without seeing it. Like it's not gonna like ruin my life if I don't see it.
Right. But it'll help it a lot.
Yeah, yeah. There's so much upside potential on it if I go check it out, but we'll see. Live and learn, I guess.
There was a scene in I don't know if it's Bad Boys 1 or 2 that's like typical dad meets potential no the date of his daughter. So they act
Okay.
drunk. Well, I don't know if they yeah I think they act somewhat drunk, and they act like they just came out of being from they just got out of jail. He's like, "I'm not going back to jail." And
Can't
they
take
bust
me.
out a cut. Yeah, like they're cops, and the guy's like a big tall guy, like a nerdy guy, and he's like all scared. It's really funny. It's like a typical dad meets daughter's date, intimidates the hell out of him.
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh yeah, so are you a virgin?" He's like, "Yes, sir. You better keep it that way." Yes, sir. Oh, okay.
Say whatever you need to get out of there alive. That's the important part.
Ooh, how is it? We're gonna pivot to that. How is it meeting your fiance's parents?
It wasn't too bad. I mean, it's always nerve wracking and everything, but you just try not to do anything to make yourself look stupid. then you're all good. Like, be on your best behavior. Like, I feel like the first time I met them, I was like very quiet, and just again back to the introverted self. So I mean, super nerve wracking. The first time Candace met my family was at a Purdue tailgate, and so it was a completely different environment. Actually, no, that was the first time that I met her family too. But I still think I was quiet. But
Makes sense. It's like you want to risk anything, so you don't say anything.
yep, yep, yes sir, yes ma'am, yes sir, yes ma'am.
Hey, he sounds very nice. Yeah.
It's all just a shtick. Like,
I was actually voted best person to take home to your parents.
for like
That's
your
high
senior,
school.
yeah.
Yeah, the senior things. Senior.
What are
What are
those
they?
called? Senior superlatives.
Yeah. And it was me and this other girl who were like, we were both very positive and outgoing and just like, goody two shoes. So we made the perfect person to take home to your parents.
I could see that. I would vote for you too.
Like looking back at it, I was like, she was very positive and very funny. It's like that would make sense. And I've never heard anything bad from her. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that makes sense. And with me, in high school, I literally just when I do not work. Cool. Yeah, because like I would always wonder how people like had times for parties. Like
Yeah.
they had time, or, like when we'd be like I'm bored. I'm like, how? I'm like, oh, not everybody's parents are like own a business and
Yeah.
basically hire them and make it work 24/7. You doing anything? No, you're gonna go work today.
Yeah. You actually had free time in high school? What?
Yeah. So my first freshman and sophomore year was just like completely work, and then my sister was like trying to like persuade me and my parents to like let me have some like time off to like get into clubs and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so that helped me out. Junior and senior year, I went like all out. Junior year, I somewhat not necessarily went all out, but um, senior year, I went like I was president of Key Club, treasurer of Chess Club. That's right.
Heyo. Angel is currently having technical difficulties. Are you back? You can't hear us. We can say anything right now. I can't think of anything quick to say. Nah.
Yeah.
Did your headphones cut out or something?
Yeah, they cut
Oh,
out, and I was like, "Wait, you're completely like you were like nodding like you were hearing me." It's
I
like
could
you're,
hear you were. I heard
yeah,
you were treasurer of chess club.
yeah. So like I was speaking it, but I wasn't hearing anything on like yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. So I was like, "Wait, what is going on?" Well, yeah, I was treasurer of chess club, and then I was involved in like 3 or 4 other clubs. I don't even remember the other ones. So those were like the main two,
Yeah.
and then my duty as treasurer was like pay your dues. And people were like, "What do you use the money for?" To buy more chess pieces,
New chess
chess
pieces,
boards.
chess boards. Pretty much all standard stuff, really.
Yeah, and I actually got beat like 3 times in under like 25 seconds one time at chess. The guy did the same move. I didn't know how to block it.
Yeah, isn't I think there's like a move in chess where you can beat somebody in like 2 or 3 moves. I think it's 3, and like you fell for it each time.
I thought he would be doing a different move. And like the 3rd time I caught on, he was doing the same move.
Got me again. Okay, rematch. Oh, got me again. Okay, one more time.
And I think after the 3rd time, he felt really bad for me, so he showed me how to stop it.
Yeah.
So I could actually play it again.
He's like, I'm doing this for your help because this is just getting sad at this point.
I did not know how to play chess, but I was a treasurer of it.
Yeah.
For the college application.
Mm. See, my high school, I don't think we had too many clubs. Like the big thing was student government, and senior year, I was the Secretary of Defense for student government, and nothing bad happened at the high school, so mission accomplished. So I threw that on, on a couple of college applications and stuff like that, but really didn't do anything. Didn't really have to to worry about too much.
Secretary of Defense. What would be like the big like emergency? Like what would happen like to make you do something with like
I,
Secretary of Defense?
I honestly don't know. I think it was just like a made up position that somebody did because there was never anything. I just had like report on how the defense of the school was going. Again, massive joke at like all the student government meetings. And basically I said, yep, nothing bad's happened. We still have troops out there. I'll keep you in the loop, but can't give too much information. It's confidential. And that was about it. And that was my weekly job update. So it's basically because I think people felt bad for me, so they just wanted me to participate.
You'll be Secretary of Defense on a high school.
Yeah, it's like
What is,
woo.
what is our rival school gonna like shoot at us or something?
Well, there was one time when we had a streaker on the football field for one of our football games, and then the next meeting, I had to say that I apologized to everybody. The defenses were a little lackadaisical that day, so that was the one breach that we had.
Oh, I'm guessing the kid went to your school.
No, the kid went to just a random school, but he had like a bunch of friends at my school,
Uh-huh.
and he was on like the cross country team, so he could run and just keep on running. So.
I guess that would be smart. He was smart at that point, not to do it in your own high school.
Oh yeah, yeah, because the people will notice you. But like, I think he wore. I want to say he wore a mask or something. But like, he kept his shorts on. It wasn't like public nudity or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, so you just like walked on the field, like ran through it?
yeah. He just ran across the entire field, starting one end zone, going to the other end zone, and then we had like a forest behind our football field, and then he just ran right into the forest afterwards.
Everybody else was just like, okay.
Yeah, everybody's like,
game goes.
hopefully he doesn't come back. Like, let's keep the game going.
I think it's a nice summer. Like a nice challenge vibe, because I feel like my town would probably do the same thing. Just like something exciting happening.
Yeah. Like, at least we'll have something to talk about tomorrow.
Definitely. How big was your high school?
High school was about 200 in each class, so probably 800, maybe 900 total in the entire high school.
We had 730 overall.
It's a pretty similar sizes right there.
Yeah. And it was a small town. But the high school I would have gone to in California was like 750, which is like the sophomore class. So it was like ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's kind of like the same for some of the like the larger public schools in the area. Like one of our like I guess like our entire class, like I guess school was like one of their class sizes, and so they're just gigantic. And so we never had to play them in sports or anything like that, just because they would kick our butts way too much. Like too many kids to choose from for them. We're like, somebody please come out for the football team, please.
We were the same way. We couldn't. Everybody who tried out for the soccer team made it on the soccer team.
Yeah.
Our football team sucked though. We had like a 1-10 record for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, we were never that great at football either. And football was one of those that if you tried out, you automatically made the team. And so they couldn't cut anybody. I think that was pretty similar for like all the bigger, like cross country, football. I think soccer was the same way too for us. But like some of the smaller ones, like volleyball, like you there were cuts. Basketball, there were cuts. So there was some of them that you could get cut on, but for the most part, it's kind of just like all inclusive.
That's good. I was like, our soccer team was good. We were like sectional champs for like 5 years. Our section was easy. We competed against smaller towns than us.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Like North Putt. During the regular season, we beat them like 10-1. But during the actual sectional game, they had the strategy of put everybody in defense except for one person, and their main plan was counterattack. And guess what? It worked for 2 times. It worked twice. So we were like tied 2-2, and so the guy who would always do the counterattack was on the left wing, So they
Mm-hmm.
just made me switch with the left guy because apparently he was faster than the left guy and didn't block him enough for like 2 goals past. But
Mm-hmm.
after that, I was just like on his butt and he didn't score. We were good.
Lockdown defense right there.
Yeah, the offense was pissed at us because like you guys hold it down. Like there's 9 players on defense on the box.
Yeah.
All
There's
we ask
one person you have to stop. Stop that one person.
is he was quick. Ah, it's so upsetting because yeah, like you said, one person and the counterattack worked twice. So yeah, our offense was just kicking the ball and yeah, they're just trying to kick it out. Like okay, here you go. But luckily we won.
That's the important thing in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah, our soccer team was like really good too. I wonder like if that's just a thing. I don't know, it's 100% not, but like it's kind of weird how both of us had like smaller schools and both of us had like really good soccer teams.
Well, it's just 11 players. The football team, that's a huge amount of players.
Yeah,
Like,
offense and defense, and then getting
yeah.
backups for everybody. I was like fifth string backup my freshman year for quarterback. I was the starting linebacker, but I was fifth string backup quarterback. And the only reason was because there were 7 of us that tried out. 2 people quit before me, and then I quit, and so I moved to linebacker. And then everybody else that was playing, like they're like, "Well, sorry, if anything happens to the first 4 people, you're our guy." And I'm like, "Okay." Never happened though, sadly. Never got my name called.
What was your senior prank?
I don't think I had a senior prank.
Ours was lame. We literally just for passing period all decided to like all the seniors would sit when the bell rang in the locker area section for like 5 minutes and call it a senior prank. Our
Oh,
principal,
got him.
yeah, we're like, what did we accomplish here? And then our principal just like laughed and like sat down with us. Like I don't know if it was a total of 5 minutes or like 1 minute or probably just like the bell and 1 minute. And then then he got up and was like, okay, now go to class.
Like, okay.
It.
I think they threatened us something about like graduation. Like if we did a senior prank, I think like they always threaten the seniors that like they're gonna do something at graduation if there is a senior prank, and so I think everybody always chickens out for it. Which is kind of lame, but
We try to like sneak it in last minute at the ceremony.
yeah.
You really can't do anything to them once like you get their diploma.
Yeah, just walk across the stage and then you're all set, and then do the prank.
Basically. And it's like, what are you gonna do to them? We already walked. So they usually threaten them with that, isn't that? Like you can't walk.
That I think that is. And then like they'll just like send you your diploma or something. So like you'll still graduate, but you won't get to celebrate with your class.
You said you had some what or would you rather questions, right?
Yeah. So I got a couple of them. Some of them are weirder, and so I want to do some of the weirder ones. But then some of them are kind of like more serious. And so I'll just kind of jump around. And so I'll let you answer first, and then I'll answer after. So the first one is, would you rather be the funniest person in a room or the most intellectual person in the room?
Funniest.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go funniest too. We'll never have to be in rooms together then, because then it would just kind of explode because we both can't be the funniest.
Right. Or even in this podcast, I feel like we'll get practice at like when you deliver a joke or something, and just like either helping you with it or like no, not to like try to make a new joke right away or something like that.
Yeah.
Knowing the balance of it.
Mm-hmm. The timing of everything.
Yeah. Because you're just like the most intellectual. I don't think it's as how many girls are like, I want the most intellectual guy. Most people are like, I want a funny guy.
Yeah, I mean there are some people that like they get more like I guess, into the more intellectual types.
Uh,
But I think like a majority of people like kind of want a balance of it. But I think it would probably weigh more on the funniest, just because like a sense of humor I feel like is more attractive. Like you don't want a guy that has nothing up top. Like you want something that has a little blend.
Noggin.
Yeah, dude. All right, this is a weirder one, and I'm letting you answer it first. Would you rather eat shit that tasted like chocolate or eat chocolate that tasted like crap?
I probably have to go with.
And this is in public. Like we're gonna say, like you have to be doing this in public. So if you choose the chocolate one, like if you choose the poop that tastes like chocolate, like you have to be casually sitting somewhere eating a turd in public,
Uh,
and people just looking at you strange, or you just
yeah.
know that. Ugh.
For that reason, basically, I would do the chocolate because only I would know it would taste like shit, and I'm not eating shit, poop. So I'd be good. But rather if I'm looking like I'm eating turds, like that video that went viral of like that college team winning and that college kid eating poop, like horse poop.
I have
Did I see
not
that?
seen this video.
I don't know. Like,
Where do you go on YouTube?
Instagram. It was all over. It was. I don't know if it was like TFM or like some other site. A lot of them reposted, but
Yeah.
like they were saying that that college went hard because that college kid, like you know how cops had the horses, so it was horse poop. And yeah, college kid was like, "Let's go for it!" Ah! And there was that one kid. I was like, "Why not?" And he went for it. Yeah. So wait, what would you do?
I would do the other one. I would rather eat the poop that tasted like chocolate. I don't want to have the taste of poop in my mouth. Even if everybody else thinks it's chocolate, like, I don't know. Like, I would rather them, because if they come up to me like, why are you eating poop? I'd be like, taste it. It's actually chocolate. Like, ugh.
I just I had so many qualities of like, but it's poop. It's
I
everything that you
know.
didn't
That's the
want.
weird thing.
It might taste good, but it's really bad for you. Uh, okay.
mm, how about, would you rather go back to the past and meet your loved ones who passed away, or go to the future to meet your children or grandchildren to be?
I would go to the past because I'm gonna meet my kids. Hopefully, God willing, everything goes right. I'm gonna meet my kids.
Yeah.
But you can't go to the past and meet your grandparents. I would want to talk to my great granddad, grandparent, grandfather, great grandfather.
The word we are looking for.
I have a hard time with words.
I would agree with that though. Like right now, like sure it'd be cool to talk to our kids and stuff, but like hopefully we'd be able to do that in the future anyways. But like don't really have the opportunity to go to the past. So I would agree with you on that.
Apparently, my great grandfather was lazy, so my grandfather ended up like taking the responsibility of the family and became very hardworking.
Mm.
So much that like he didn't like when like kids would play like sports because he's like that's for lazy people. They're not working. They're playing sports. So you like get the ball and like pop
Are you serious? That's
it.
hardcore right there.
So my uncles and my dad, if they wanted to go play soccer, they would have to like basically be sneaking out to go play in like a park
Yeah.
because grandfather did not want any of it. And that I understand that from that point of perspective. Like his dad was lazy and didn't want to do anything. Yeah, but now it works out.
This is a classic one. Would you rather know how you will die or when you will die?
Wait. What about add another question to the going back to your like family members? Who would you want to meet?
I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe like the first ever like Yazel that came across or something like that. Because before our last name was Van Yeselstein, which I'm like, that's pretty cool. Maybe like the first one of them that came over, I feel like would be interesting just to talk to.
Why'd you come to America? The land of opportunity.
Yeah. It's like, and why did you change your name? Van Yeselstein is pretty freaking cool. Like you should have kept it.
Back in the day, they did not think it was cool.
Yeah. We were the losers. We wanted to change it all.
Yeah. There's some people who like even I had some friends who like first generation like Americans who like their parents would be like, yeah, they didn't allow me to talk Spanish because they wanted me to just talk English to like make sure like we weren't like bullied or criticized just for talking like knowing Spanish. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, yes, that works too.
Yeah.
Every generation has its things.
Yeah. Yeah. Try not to stand out, try to blend in as much as you can. But now it's kind of like your uniqueness is what makes you different. So, like, do what you want to do kind of thing.
And, yeah, and then like the internet, they changed the game.
What was this?
It's like I did a motion of like the floods have opened, like the gates have opened. Let the flood water go in. Like so many gatekeepers are like gone because of the internet. Like
Mm-hmm.
skill wins more now with the internet available because
Mm-hmm.
your skill set is definitely going to separate you from the rest,
Yeah, from the
and it'll
pack.
be shown with like LinkedIn account. It's all your achievements right there, and then you're able to contact as many companies as you possibly want.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like boom.
Yeah.
The opportunities are endless in the land of the free.
Wow. And I think too there's a downside of it as well, just because since everybody has it like that, like you really have to stand out. But then there's a line like between you standing out and you just being kind of way too in everybody's face about it too. So you have to have like a good blend between professionalism and individuality kind of thing where it comes across the right way. So even though all the opportunities are out there for people, like it's how you go about it too, which makes it a little more difficult, and you have to think about it a tiny bit more of how you want to portray yourself.
Definitely. It's like the good thing is everyone can do it. The bad thing is
Everyone
everyone
can
can
do
do
it.
it. No.
If you could have one job in the world, what would like your dream job be? Kind of going off the opportunities thing.
I just want to get really good at storytelling and like making videos. But then
Yeah.
again, it would either be that or like operating a marketing business. So kind of like the math and the art of both combined, of like the math of like operating a business and like the art of like still being able to like storytell and like market yourself.
Yeah. So kind of like being an influencer, but knowing all the ins and outs of everything to be able to do it effectively to a degree.
It's like being an influencer as well as like owner of a company
Yeah.
that the company also is able to do that aspect of it.
Yeah. Kind of owning your brand.
Mhm.
And people
But
ask like every once in a while, like, what do you think your brand is? What do you think your brand is? I feel like that's such a difficult thing to answer unless like you already know what you want to be. Just because like for me, I feel like I'm still trying to figure it all out. And so like I feel like that's a big piece of what you want to become is knowing what that not necessarily end goal, but those characteristics that you kind of want to be known for and how you can work to get there too. And so it's kind of just like setting those stepping stones for you just with everything that you do.
definitely, we're still very young, and then
Yeah.
too, it can change since like we're both not married right now, so like and without kids, so
Hmm.
definitely changes once we get kids
Yeah.
and married life, just like it'll change, and then we're
Hmm.
still fairly young.
Yeah.
So what would your dream job be? Currently,
Yeah, my
in
dream job.
4 years old, 2019.
Yeah, I would
Wait, is it
say
Yazel or Yeezel?
it's Yazel. I mean, it calls everything in both ways, so it doesn't really matter.
Because when you said it, I was like, oh, I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
Oh no, you are all good.
Okay.
Dream job, like I don't know. Well, I feel like my dream job is like after retirement, like owning like a little bakery or something like that. Like or just like stocking up enough money to like then you can own a little bakery or just working at a little bakery because I feel like you'll have so much less stress with it, but like at the same time like you got to be creative and you got to just like when people are ordering cupcakes, nobody's in a bad mood when they're ordering cupcakes. So it's like you just keep bringing people like smiles and positivity and everything like that. So I would say that that's kind of like my end goal dream job. But who knows? Step one is getting to that point, but
Why bakery?
I don't know. I mean, I've just always thought that it would be interesting, just because like not necessarily want to be a chef or anything like that, but with like baked goods, again, it's kind of everybody's always happy with it. It just kind of puts people in that mood or gets people that are already in that mood. And so, I mean, just being able to continue and help out with that, I feel like it's kind of just the emotion that in my mind is tied to it. And so
Uh,
you see all those cooking shows and everything like that. And I don't know, it's just kind of stuck out to me.
I was waiting for like my great grandfather was like a baker. They owned a bakery.
That's it.
It's been passed down from generations, then we lost it. So I'm trying to bring it back.
Yeah. We made the best strudel in all the land.
That'd be awesome. And my great grandmother had the secret recipe. We lost it, but now we got it back.
That's something. My grandma made the best cherry and apple pie, and so it's funny because like, every once in a while we'll try to like recreate it or something, and for whatever reason, in the back of my mind, like nothing will ever get to that point of how she made it. And sure, every time we make it, it could be the exact same thing, but it was just something a little bit different with how she made it. So, do you have anything like that in your family where somebody makes something that's just so good and that, like, you just can't do it unless that person makes it? It's just different.
And you just like tamales.
Yeah.
Wait. Did your grandmother already pass away?
Yeah.
Ah, I was like, YouTube it. Like, make a YouTube video, then you have it forever.
Yeah, we have the
Isn't
recipe
that
card.
crazy? Ah.
That's it.
I think like with those recipe cards, it's always hard because like when like you see your grandmother do it, they always like taste it and like just add a little bit more, or like just a little bit less, and you're like that might be the difference.
Yeah. And they don't use the recipe card because they just know just right away what to do. And it's like, well, can you update the recipe card for the rest of us if you've changed anything?
And then like in case like they stop doing a certain item, and then they like forget how to do it, you're like, oh, it's been lost for future generations forever. But now you YouTube it, boom.
Boom.
The Yazel recipe 2019.
Yeah. Speaking of baking things, this weekend is going to be our Christmas cookie like baking, I guess, weekend where we're going to come in and we're just going to make all these different cookies for the Christmas time. And so I feel like that's going to be our question of the day for everybody, if everybody has like a favorite holiday cookie that they go for. Because for me, there's a cookie that it's a ball of just like cookie dough, but you put a cherry on the inside and then the outside's coated with chocolate. And so it's so good, but it's a pain in the butt to make. But that's my favorite.
So question of the day: what's your favorite holiday cookie?
Holiday
Christmas cookie?
cookie or holiday pastry if
Holiday pastry.
people do other things outside of cookies. We'll keep it open. Holiday dessert, we'll say.
Ooh. Boom. All right. Question of the day.
What's yours though? You gotta give an answer.
Uh, favorite pastry. I would probably just go with Three Milks cake. I feel like it's just so good. Like
Tres
it's 3 milks.
leches.
Yes, tres leches. Tres leches is so good because like it's so wet.
What a great way to describe your dessert. It's so wet. You gotta add that in the title.
I was like, it's so moist. But like, no, it's wet. It's like it's not like a dry cake.
Mm-hmm. It's a
Cake.
wet cake. Mm.
That's the title. It was gonna be. It's wet.
It's wet. This is one wet episode of Talkmen Tuesdays.
The thumbnail might be like a cake. I thought it was like just cake. I might have a video that like of a kid getting their face shoved into a cake. Which might be a good thumbnail. I think a tradition is like bite the cake. It's like
Boom.
yeah. But I saw in a video somebody had like a paper plate like near them, so when they were like went in for the bite, they put it in front of their face. They still got shoved into the cake, but the plate was like in the middle of their face and cake,
So
so they got
protect
none
them.
of the face. Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's so smart. Why didn't I think of that? But no, I was just like,
They care, but at the same time, they still want them to get their face smashed, but not dirty.
there's always that family member that's like, I'll protect you. And then they're the ones that shove you in.
Can't trust anybody nowadays.
Ever, not even your own bloodline. There's some hard lessons as a kid. my 70-year-old birthday party. I'm not bitter or anything.
We are just bringing back some bad memories that we're turning this to a bad note at the end.
Luckily, on one of the birthday parties I remember when I was younger, I did win musical chairs to be my cousin. That was an awesome time.
Cousin didn't stand a chance. You were in there.
And we have video proof of it too, which is even better. I can relive that moment. That moment
That's when
where
you
the music
peaked.
stopped. Yes. The music stopped. We both looked at each other. I went in for the chair, and then he sat on my lap. So he was done. And then, yeah, you can see me like sit down, just look at him laughing.
Not a sore winner by any means.
I enjoyed that one. Okay. Anyways, question of the day.
Yep. Question of the day.
Pastry?
Yep. Holiday pastry, holiday dessert, whatever it is, let us know. And we will look in the comments, and then I guess afterwards we can check the next day after we put this up and say who's really stuck out to us. But thank you all again for taking some time out of your Tuesdays, sitting down with us, listening to us, whether it's on a car ride, on your way to work, what have you. But don't forget to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you in the next episode of Talkmen Tuesday. Have a great rest of your week.
Bye, guys. Thank you.